design, it's all about imagination. To me, everything as an inventor is possible, and there's no such thing as there's no more room for inventing. My mission is to make an affordable gun and put it in everybody's pocket. By far, this gun project has tested my skills. Well, I'm Joe Roebuck. I'm the founder and CEO of SCCY Firearms. I always knew I loved designing and building. Between 4 and 5 years old, I was very mechanically inclined. I was taking everything apart, from door handles to lawnmower. I convinced my dad I want to be an inventor, an engineer. He gave me best advice that got me to where I am today. He said, you need to learn a tool and die trade. He started teaching me at about 8 years old. By the time I was about 12, I got pretty good. By the time I graduated high school, I left home, got my first job. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have the tool and die background. It's kind of how I got started. Back in 1997, got involved and owned a company with metal injection molding, MIM. I researched the market. So I saw there's 3 segments of the firearm market. The bottom tier, then you have the middle tier, and then the big boys at the top. I saw that the middle had a hole in it. Had to figure out, is this a business I want to go in? There's a lot of gun companies out there that are quite old. So my mission was, if I could put a quality gun out that would be equal to, if not better than the big boys at the top, at a cost-effective price, I have a business. The slide, that's the most arduous, most expensive part of a semi-automatic to make, in my opinion. I used my imagination, came up with tooling. A lot of the people in the industry, I'm told, they make a slide in anywhere from 4 to 6 steps. We do it in 2. It's the first consumer product I've ever done. The company is somewhat well known now. I'm known. I have to say, this firearms industry challenged me. Keeps you on your toes. That's kind of how SCCY got started. SCCY is the presence of talent and technology with the absence of greed. I could get a lot more money for the gun. I saw it differently. I want people to have something solid, reliable. I want people to know the company. I want them to know that we're helping people.
Right now, we're shipping close to 800 to 1,000 units a day, 5 days a week. And we've been consistently doing that for about 7 months now.
We run 24/7. We have over 1 million guns on the market, so we've gotten pretty good at making it. High quantities, that's the goal. So the machinery has to be top notch. I'm a quality freak and somewhat of a control freak in the business world. Short of springs, I'm gonna say 98% of the gun is done in here. I mean, it was a time that we did outsource. If there's a little 1 penny screw, and I don't have it, I can't ship. So that's why I like to make things in-house.
The machinery that Joe brings in is all top-notch. There's nothing that he brings in here that is low-end. Everything is the highest of the peak and the nicest and the newest that you can possibly purchase.
It's expensive. There's millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment out on the floor, but we have control.
What I oversee and what I pretty much do day to day is the machine shop. When I came here at SCCY, I immediately started learning. Me, myself, I'm a big hands-on guy, so I love jumping into the maintenance atmosphere and being able to kind of get my hands on things. I submerge myself in the production, the actual manufacturing, making sure that those machines are dialed in and producing the best parts that we can create on a daily basis.
The machining of our slide, our receiver, our barrel. We're using top-notch equipment. Nothing in the factory is inexpensive. I buy the best.
The most satisfying thing is seeing a round bar, a piece of metal, and then in one day, seeing it as a finished slide or a finished receiver. Being able to be a part of that process on implementing it into the gun and then seeing that gun go out, that's probably the most satisfying thing in the world.
Colors back in the day did not sell. Women like colors. A woman would not go alone like they do today to go buy a firearm. Most guys are like, you're not buying a pink gun, you're buying a black one. So colors didn't sell. I saw things changing. There's more and more single women. Women are more independent, which is great. And they're going to the gun store to buy it themselves. But the colors that were out there, they looked like they were in the sun for a year. All colors pop. Pink was the most popular. It's not so much anymore. We call it the sky blue, by far hot. We now sell our grips alone if you want to change your color. It's very easy to change it. After learning more about the industry, I learned that the preferred firing system is a striker fire. The CPX doesn't really compete with the big boys, okay? The DVG will. DVG stands for something, David versus Goliath.
The main goal of the DVG was to get out in that budget price point with a striker fire pistol. A flat face, aluminum trigger, sharpening up that trigger brake, reducing the trigger pull down, adding some front serrations to the slide, and integrating our quad lock system on the barrel.
This is apples for apples now.
One thing that we've always improved on is our innovation and engineering.
The most important thing to our company is putting out a quality product. We spend a ton of time in the developmental process of a product line, making sure that everything that goes out the door here is done right and is of the highest possible quality. Probably the most challenging thing overall is building and designing processes that are pretty much bulletproof, and we can ensure that every day they're going to be producing a consistent and quality product.
Anytime we run into an issue on the floor or any time delay, engineering will craft something within 24 hours to simplify any task that we're struggling within.
Trying to make somebody's life easier on the assembly line or get some more consistency out of a product. So there's never a lack of challenges to overcome. Every piece of fixturing or work holding that we have in our manufacturing product is designed in-house and manufactured in-house. So we have an entire dedicated tool room. We can design a bulletproof, super solid work holding and take that thing and rip our tooling through it and really build some efficiency into that process. And that's the opportunities that we use to really be able to take that price point down and be competitive in that market with more quality than a lot of our competitors do. SCCY has been the place where I've seen the most commitment to the equipment, the fixturing, the work holding, as well as the development of those things. This is one of our slide Op1 fixtures, so this is like one of the main components of our milling operation for our CPX 1 and 2 slides. These blocks will come in, get set up on a CNC grinder, and they are ground into a couple tenths of flatness and parallelism right off the bat. And then they will go through a couple operations of milling, jump into our wire EDMs over here, and eventually get assembled into one of these fixtures that'll go into our horizontal mills and start making more slides. This is one of our vertical milling machines. This is where a lot of our prototyping happens for new work holding or fixture development. Normally, this would have to go into machine 4, 5, 6 different times. Every time that goes in and out of a machine, it's just more error that's getting stacked into an operation. So, 2 shots rather than 6, get in there, get the part made. Less times you're touching it, the more accurate the part's gonna be when it's done. The wire EDM machine is one of the tools that SCCY uses to hold extremely tight tolerances and build quality products. But what this does is it actually uses a continuous piece of wire with an electrical current running through and erodes material away. So it's basically cutting through metal with a string. Kind of allows us to
hold some extremely tight tolerances and very quickly iterate on a design and get it into production.
Joe makes sure that we have the tools that we need to do the best job possible. He recognizes the value of that equipment and being able to make a very high quality product. I've got a scolding once or twice for suggesting some budget tooling here or there. Every single time he's come back to me and said, well, is that the best thing that you can buy? If it's not, I want you to go out and find it. I've learned that lesson and don't go down that path anymore. So.
The tool room has become big enough where it actually, I'm pulling it out of Sky and it's going to be its own company called Joe V Technologies. We have 4 apprentices now. A few special ones are going to own a piece of the store. I pride myself on our tooling, and that's why Sky is where it's at. I'm a quality freak, and it shows with my equipment. I think it shows with my factory. We've achieved probably the highest quality to price ratio in the market. That's our biggest challenge is because it's a low price point, people think, oh, it must be a piece of junk, which it's not, and it's caught on. We have a good reputation. The DVG is going to put our reputation even higher.
Our quality department is always having our back, and they're always helping us out to make sure that what we're doing is correct and we're in tolerance. And they go back behind us and they calibrate our tools, our hand tools, our micrometers, our calipers, and that's something that another thing a lot of companies don't do. And here at Sky, in that family atmosphere, you're always able to walk in there, hand them a pair of calipers, they'll calibrate it for you, hand it right back out to you, and you can continuously go through your day.
Everything, takes time. We try to take our time and do things right, and that culture gets passed down. We have really good people here. They really care. They like their job. A lot of the employees say this is the best job they ever had. That makes me happy.
Joe is accommodating and giving. He really is invested in his product and in his people. So if you're willing to come in here and work hard, he recognizes that kind of stuff, and he's very interested to give people that opportunity. When
I see talent, I'll nurture it. We have some diamonds in the rough out there. I can spot it, and I'll do whatever I can to foster that and help them.
The crew I consider them a family. We're here day in and day out with each other, and most of the time, even when we're not on premises, we're talking, through phone or social media. So still, when we go home, we're still together. We still hop on, video game, play some Call of Duty, man. Get on Warzone. We'll go out on the weekends and rip through some dirt bikes and some 4-wheelers. Having that kind of core is something that makes it so enjoyable to come to work every single day.
A big part of what Sky is as a company and lets us be successful is everyone's on the same page, from machine operators out on the floor to people assembling guns to our quality control team, our engineering team, all the way through our management and all the way up to Joe. Without that group of people, we don't exist as a company.
I hope they know that we appreciate all the sacrifice. Over the past year, 2 years, it has been just a constant sprint. 7 days a week, 3 shifts, that takes a lot. It takes a lot out on your family life. It takes a lot out on your free time. And our crew here is 100% dedicated to sacrificing what they need to make sure that we hit our goals every single month. And that to me is something that almost, it almost makes me feel so much gratitude that I almost express tears.
Just one big dysfunctional family, just like real family. But we're a team. This is a place people can retire at.
When you're making firearms and you truly love what you do, the amount of pride that you have, it's almost undescribable. You can't let off the pride. In having that pride, you're always going to be consistently successful.
There's a real soul to this company. What we do here saves lives.
Knowing that you're a piece of what might save somebody's life one day is something that's always been satisfying for me at the end of the day going home.
I can't talk about what we have, but we're expanding. I will say we're going into the rifle business. We're always looking to improve.
We can constantly continue to grow and continue to improve our processes. The goals are endless.
That's our future. I see good things. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.